each of you, except Win, so both of you.
I know what happens to me.
Yeah, Mac knows what happens to her. So, Artie and Jill, you're lying on your backs. You blink and you try to move, and your bodies ache. You hear a soft voice speaking, but it's hazy and you can barely understand it. Your voices come out as croaks. Your lips are cracked and dry, and your eyes feel all gummed up. Finally, you hear a few soft words. Don't try to move. You're safe. And there is a blissful relief behind those words, some kind of magic that takes the edge off your suffering. And there is nothing you can do to stop yourself from slipping back into unconsciousness. Another amount of time passes. You don't know how long. You wake up again. You're in some kind of bed. The room is large, and you hear voices echoing around. Someone says, "They're waking up." And it sounds a little like Win. You're in a lot of pain. Looking over yourself, you see that you're out of armor, both of you, and heavily bandaged. Especially in the areas where you took a lingering injury, such as Arturus' abdomen. You don't feel quite as tired as before, though. You're in beds, side by side, in this large room. It's clean and plain. There are small tables with wash basins and stools around. And there's a person sitting on one of the stools between you two. And it's Win, and she's sitting up.
She is also very heavily bandaged, albeit she looks better than probably you two do right now, and she also looks like she's been bored out of her mind. She has, like, a crochet hook and a badly made crochet creature that she's clearly tried to learn how to crochet with.
Juliana squints at her, and it's just like, your gauge is all over the place.
There's nothing to do here. I don't know how to do this. She holds it up, but there's nothing else to do. And all of you are sleeping for days.
Days? And then Juliana's gonna sit up and then probably just go, "Ugh," and then try to sit up again, but slower. At least prop herself up on her elbows.
You want to watch out for that. I think they mentioned something about your intestines or your stomach. I don't know. I was only half paying attention. Because at the time they were also talking about mine.
Those are different things.
I know.
Different types of injuries. What?
I was listening to them talk to me about a bunch of people.
Can I, like, do sort of a passive, just kind of a light medicine check as I sort of, like, feel around my body?
First up, I'm going to say, when you sit up and look around, you realize you're in a hospital of some kind. There's a whole bunch of beds stacked out along the area.
Any, like, partitions or anything?
There is a partition that's blocking you from one side. The other side is open, and you can see other crewmates lying in beds along there. Some of them are sitting up, some of them are lying down. For the actual self-analysis, go ahead and roll medicine with disadvantage.
With disadvantage?
Yep, because you still have exhaustion.
Okay, well that's an 11 then.
With an 11, you can tell that you have indeed received some kind of internal injury, but someone must have been treating you for it because it's not as bad as it could be. You should be, like, experiencing major symptoms, but you are not.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like, sort of test out my muscles, my movement, see what's hurting, what's not.
You're still in bad shape, and you're still absolutely exhausted.
Yeah.
Can you even tell what this is supposed to be? Wynn says, holding it up.
Like a bear?
Is that a land rat?
It's supposed to be a koala, but that's close enough. Severus?
The fuck's a koala?
A land rat, apparently.
When you call out for Varus, there is a sound on the other side of the partition, and you will hear a door opening just beyond it. And you hear footsteps coming through the door, and then a person rounds the corner to face you all.
Anyway, I read about them in one of those space magazines. It's basically the only thing I could get a hold of. She calls out for him and then turns and continues. Koala, I read about it in one of my space magazines.
This person appears to be a cleric from their garments. They're an older Vidoni, very tall, They've got a heavy brow and long grey hair that's braided down their back. They've got plain brown robes with a white tabard, and then the tabard has an image embroidered on it of a hand clutching a rope.
As this cleric arrives, Wynn goes, "This is, Hilaveris? He's kind of the leader of this hospital and follows the clinging. That sounds more like a you thing, Jill. I just kind of nodded along."
This older man looks at you, Win, with a bemusement on his face, and he says,
"I'm older than you, don't start with me."
he nods and says, "Yes, ma'am. Your friend is correct. We are, my name is Varys. I'm not the leader here. I'm one of the head doctors, but I'm not. Anyway. She tells me that you are Juliana and Arturos. Actually, would you have said Arturos or Archie?
Archie.
Archie.
Well, actually, hold on. I am currently at, disadvantage on all intelligence checks. It was Arturos.
Oh no.
Make an intelligence check and we'll find out.
Okay, hold on. With
And
disadvantage.
charisma, too, to lie successfully.
Yeah. Intelligence 12.
With a 12, you remember just in time to say Archie.
Okay. Archie.
Yeah, Archie.
There we go.
Says, yes, you are Juliana and Archie. And she is correct. You are in the Hospital of the Clinging here in Volcaris. You should know you were in a Spelljammer crash 2 days ago down in the Undercity.
Two. Okay. Okay, is everyone alive?
Wynn gives a thumbs up.
So far, it appears that while some of the Praetorian guards bravely gave their lives to save yours, all your crew appears to be living still.
Okay. Do you have the bodies? 'Cause I can.
He gestures off to the side and says, most are still sleeping off just the sheer amount of injuries they took. One of your crew experienced Spelljammer shock and is currently in a coma, but we expect he will
He's what?
recover.
He's sorry. Sorry again. One more again.
He is currently in a coma,
Oh.
but we expect that he will make a recovery because his physical injuries appear to have been treated before they could get too bad.
Yeah, did my best. Spelljammer. Okay. I've only read about that once. I never. I should have actually picked up texts about Spelljammer, spell sailing illnesses.
Miss Juliana, could I please ask you to just take a breath for a moment?
Varys is great. We're honestly in good hands.
Just walk me through Spelljammer sickness.
Well, in this case, usually if a helm is severely damaged, the psychic feedback can hurt the brain of the pilot, and it will usually take a few days for them to recover.
Okay.
But as long as there are no other injuries, they should wake up.
Exacerbating issues. He was extra plugged into the helm. He calls it a city druid. He's from Sharn. He channels his druidism through city ecosystems, and he told me once that spelljammers are like a ship is like a small city, so he might have been. That could have gone deeper.
Miss Juliana, I assure you that our best doctors are looking after him right now.
Okay, that's great, but that just wouldn't have been on your file, so you need to have that on your file to actually be able to catch anything.
It's clear that you have medical training of your own, ma'am. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, great.
There were other crashes in the city that day too. We don't have a whole lot of information about it, but I'm afraid your ship is in an unsalvageable condition. One of your guards was able to set off a magic beacon, and we sent people down as quickly as possible to rescue you.
The Kestrel's gone.
Yes.
The Kestrel's gone.
Wynn kind of slowly nods her head.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I know that sailors can grow quite attached to their ships.
And I think she kind of blinks really hard a few times, and then did they did they salvage anything from the wreck? Any of our stuff?
There was a little cargo that was magically protected, but
Right, there was
little else survived.
You pulled a flail snail from the wreckage, right?
Oh my god, did a little spider, metal spider thing?
He's in my
Yeah.
bag, says Win.
Like a whole ass flail snail with a big prismatic shell.
The priest looks a little shocked and says, I don't know, but I can inquire with the guards.
His name's Lawnmower. He likes barnacles.
The priest nods, a little confused. It says, I'll ask and see if they found anything.
There was a cat.
I don't know, I'm afraid.
Toolbox is fine. He brushed past me the other day.
He did?
Yeah,
He does get everywhere, doesn't he?
he does. And Dewey was in my bag sorting out the romance book, so Dewey's okay.
Oh good. Wait, my wall of shiny!
I think, yeah, that was in the aft, but that's probably metal. That's probably molten now.
Oh no.
I'm afraid we could recover very little. I'm sorry.
So it's just what we have on our backs.
Basically.
And she starts to look around, and where's the rest of our stuff? Where's my gear? Where's my bag?
That is in the custody of our
Where's my
guards.
hammer?
I'm sure that they will return them to you now
I
that they know.
would very
you're
much like
awake.
to have my hammer, thank you.
But I must ask you, please don't get up right now. Please take some time to recover. At least 2 days.
2 days. You're funny. You're funny.
Ma'am, it is my duty to inform you that you are all, at this time, not to leave the hospital building. You may move around it freely, but you're not to leave it.
Okay, great. Thanks.
I'm sure your weapons will be returned to you once you have been spoken to by the captain of the guard.
Spoken to.
Yes.
Well, at least this jail cell doesn't smell like piss.
We do our best to keep it that way.
Juliana casts about, like, looking over if like the rest of our crew is here. She wants to do a head count. Who's missing right now?
Right now, you look over and you see Bonda and Hurst are asleep. Kara is sitting up, also trying to crochet and doing an absolute shit job of it.
Win kind of lifts up her terrible crochet and shrugs, visibly at Kara, like, how the fuck do you do this?
Kara, like, shrugs and looks back. Finn is lying asleep, and next to him, there is one last bed with one heavily bandaged figure on it.
Okay.
And then across the aisle on the other side, 2 Praetorian guards, or at least you assume from their build because they're tall like Verdoni, who are also bandaged and sleeping.
Okay, which means that we're missing Sybil and Max.
Oh wait, and Veli would be in a corner actually, sitting in a pile of dirt.
As if Win can read Jill's mind. Max was taken to a private fancier doctor than what we get, and Sybil woke up and was kind of taken with him to help guard him because she's, main god.
Okay, well, is that little party accepting visitors?
I will ask on your behalf.
Oh, you'll ask on my behalf. Okay, great.
On the
Yeah.
Queen's... Wait, are we saying who you are now?
What?
What?
And Varys looks at you, Arturus, and says, "Yes, I'm aware of who Her Majesty is, but your friend here warned me not to address her as such
Ugh.
just yet.
She nods her head.
Oh.
Simply because, for that exact reason."
Jill puts her head in her hand. Oh, that's right. Oh.
I am led to believe you shrunk away from that title for a reason. I was advised it would make you less uncomfortable if we didn't address it right away.
Okay.
Win nods her head.
I don't know. I say swing it where you got it.
Ugh. Okay, well, do I have to ask permission then?
Actually, Her Highness would like to come and see you now that you're awake.
Her who?
The little one.
The Princess Volcaren.
Oh, oh. And she kind of looks down. Okay. She's just going to, like, while looking at him, start, like, feeling up around her head to try and arrange her hair.
Bart says, "Ma'am, please don't worry. We'll..."
Many people better than you have tried to tell me not to worry, and it hasn't worked yet.
I see.
He's actually a very nice guy, says Quinn. He's the one who brought me the crochet stuff when I said I was bored.
That's great. I'm just saying, worrying is basically my whole thing.
That's true, it's her hobby.
Hey, Jill. At least you're not naked.
That's not really comforting.
You realize, Juliana, that under the bandages, you are, in fact...
Well, yes,
Only-
under my clothes, I would be naked in general.
You have the bandages, and then you have, like, a hospital robe, and that's it.
Yeah.
Listen, I got stuck through my gut.
Okay. Can I at least, like, she'll stiffly reach behind her to try to prop some pillows up. Okay.
And Vara says, "Please, let me help you." And he comes over and starts to help you sit up properly. Because it's clear that I can't help you from sitting up, but at least I can stop you from hurting yourself any worse.
Yeah. You know how the worst patients are doctors?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, hi.
I'm glad you understand the perils of being a medical professional.
Yeah. Comes with the vows.
That it does. Would you like to go and speak to the rest of your crew?
Can we do that before?
Before... Oh, no, Her Highness won't be able to come see you till tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yes, great, super. Yes.
You didn't really give me a chance to say, ma'am, but yes, you can go talk to your crew. I thought... Your friend warned me I would need these, and he reaches behind the partition and pulls out a couple of pairs of crutches.
Oh, you're a peach. Win, you're a peach.
Wade gives a thumbs up.
And you realize that these crutches have been sawn down.
Because the Bodoni are so tall.
I would like to note that Wynn's stool definitely has wheels, so she just kind of wheels herself back and forth.
Oh, because Bodoni are so fucking tall. These are baby crutches for teenagers.
If you two would like to get up, please allow me to help you. I don't want you to exacerbate your injuries more than you already have.
Yeah.
It's okay. I can see them from here.
All right, then I'll leave you still lying there, sir. Ma'am, allow me.
It's fine.
No, he insists, and he almost forcibly helps you to your feet very gently.
Ugh.
And sets you up with these truncated crutches.
Okay, alright, good. Thanks.
He bows and takes a few steps back, and then nods to Wynn and to Artie.
Wynn gives a thumbs up. Thanks, man.
I will let Her Highness know that you're awake.
Cool.
And then he steps out, and you realize now that you're standing up that the door he leaves through is a foot higher than any door you're used to going through, and the ceilings are a foot higher as well. This place feels like it's been built for giants.
Wow, finally Mr. Hurst doesn't have to duck anywhere.
And most things you're used to being at waist height are just a little higher, like just high enough to be uncomfortable. The tables, the chairs, the stools.
Artie, is this what it's like for you all the time?
Oh, go fuck yourself. He's like the smallest baby in this giant
the
bed
littlest
that's made
man.
for
Oh my
7
God.
foot tall people.
In the streets, people will be like, "Excuse me, young man, aren't you supposed to be at school?"
And he's like, I'm a full grown adult.
He's the littlest cancer patient. Oh no.
Yeah, Jill will probably stumble a little with the crutches until she gets to the rhythm of it. And then just sort of go down. She's going to try not to make a direct beam line to Lachlan, but she does make a direct beam line to Lachlan.
So as you pass Hurst and Bondar first, Kara says, "Oh, those two have been waking up, but they're going to need some time. They're not great."
Wynn nods her head. As she scoots along on her stool.
Do you two, like, go level with each other?
Oh
as
yeah,
as
do you
move
just
along?
like push yourself down the rows?
Yeah, absolutely. She's got I would like to think that she has exactly one crutch and she just uses it to kind of paddle her way around while on her stool.
Excellent.
Which is so funny because I was gonna say they provide you with a wheelchair, but this is way funnier.
Yeah.
Wynn refuses. She wants the stool.
And then you pass Kara, and a little further along there is Finn, and she says, "He's fine. He just needs a bit more sleep. But Lachlan, he's got it bad." And she struggles to her feet and retrieves a pair of her own crutches from beside the bed and moves over to join you beside Lachlan.
How's he been? Has he shown any movement at all?
Wynn kind of shakes her head.
Nothing. That's just been quiet. I mean, he's breathing,
Yeah.
but that's it.
Eye movement, nothing?
Nothing.
Oh.
I did kind of notice his eyes twitching a little bit once. I think. I'll be real. I was really bored and everybody else was asleep, including you, Kara.
Kara shrugs and says, "I mean, what else are you going to do here?"
Yeah.
Jill slumps. I think she is also going to tuck one of the crutches under her armpit. Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to have her sort of back herself up so she can sit on the edge of the bed.
Yep, that works.
And then she will reach up, and there is probably some hair that has gotten out of place on his forehead, and she'll tuck it back up and then feel his skin temperature.
He feels the normal level of warmth. The kind of muted warmthness you're used to feeling through his physically thicker skin. Feels normal for him.
I don't know what could have done that. It didn't affect anything except the helm.
Kara says, "I've been thinking about that a lot."
Does it sound like anything you've ever heard about?
Never. Not once. I mean, the closest I've seen were weapons that shot rays of energy, but this was... It just, like, turned the helm off. In an ugly way.
Yeah, when you seemed like you... I don't know, honestly, my attention wasn't, super great, but you put the helm on, you were able to slow us down, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, but then it blasted me with something. I still have a migraine remaining from it.
What fucking happened?
It just felt like a blast of searing light in my head.
It's almost like it's almost like it, I don't know, turned it into a life jammer for a second or something.
I don't know, but what's her face? She knew what was happening.
How do you figure?
I saw them signaling.
You saw Sybil signal something?
Or they signaled something to her. She didn't say anything.
I don't know. I don't even know if those things are related. But that beam came up from below. I mean, if I had to guess, somebody knew that was the ship that... I mean, they were probably trying to kill Max, right?
Almost certainly.
So somebody had to have been tipped off what to look for. Because otherwise, I mean, that was a busy port. There's lots of people coming and going. So they would have had to have known to look for a Shrike ship. But they decided that it was best to just take out the whole damn ship. I don't know.
Kara shrugs and says, "I mean, if I was a pirate and I was trying to kill a person on a ship, I probably wouldn't care about any of the other people aboard.
Just the Helmmaster.
You take out the ship, it crashes down, everyone else is dead. And then you leave whatever rats are in the Undercity to finish off the rest."
Which indeed was attempting to happen.
So it would seem.
Hey, where's my dog, by the way?
Yeah, he's like, Wynn points, he's under your bed, kind of curled up.
Oh,
I've tossed him some meat.
thanks. I don't think he eats.
I don't know, I wasn't quite sure, I wasn't sure if we figured that out yet or not, but I figured worst case.
I don't know what he did with the meat.
I don't really know either.
Hellhound's bites do necrotic damage. So when he tried to eat the meat, he chewed on it. It kind of rotted in his mouth, and you had to get it away from him because he just wouldn't swallow it. He'd just keep chewing on this rotting meat.
I
It was
kind of
pretty
threw it to
disgusting.
him. He chewed on it a little bit, and it started rotting and turning green and fuzzy really fast. So I took it away, and then Varys took it from me.
Oh, that's what that smell was.
Yeah.
Good. I thought that may have been somebody like gangrenous or something. Oh, okay.
It was just Tim.
And Kara said, well, it was Artie, actually. His wound was gangrenous till they healed it.
Yeah, I thought that was me.
So, Arturos, tell us about the kind of scar you've been left with, because they would have used magical healing on you, which would have cleared up the wound. But tell us what kind of scar it's left you with.
He's got a scar paler than his skin, and it's a little bit raised and sensitive to the touch. It's almost the shape of a star.
Ooh.
Not a 5-pointed star, but like six
Yeah.
6 points or so. You have the little circle in the middle, and then they just raise. You know what lights look like when you have astigmatism? It's that.
So, is there anything specific that you all want to mention before we skip ahead a little bit?
Jill might, while time passes, Jill might try to fix Wynn's crochet.
Wynn just kind of ends up shoving it off to Jill so that Jill can just do what she wants.
Okay, no, I just mean like you need to make sure that you've looped the yarn around your fingers so you've got some tension going.
I don't even like doing it. I'm just bored.
Also, Juliana, you should be right to cast Heal on one person's injuries.
Oh, great. Who is presently the worst off?
I've got weak persona, major concussion, and major internal injury, all of which are healed by heal.
I think I remember us saying that Artie was technically the least worst off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you all have major concussions. Wynn and Jill also have major internal injuries. Those are the most serious conditions you have right now.
Okay, then between the two of us, then she'll do Wynn first.
What part of her injuries do you heal first?
Oh, can I only do one at a time? Because it seems like if multiple things are covered by heal casting.
Yeah, you know what? I'll allow it. I hadn't considered that, but it makes sense.
I mean, it's a 6th level spell. It's a good one.
Actually, one of my things does stick around, because I need Regenerate to heal weak persona.
Yeah, and that one I don't have.
Yeah. But I get rid of major concussion and major internal injury.
Nice.
So as that's cast on me, Wynn kind of draws in a breath and is like, finally, it doesn't hurt to breathe. Whew. Thank you, Jill.
So I only have one 6th level slot, so I can basically do that once per long rest, essentially. So I might actually, depending on time of day, I might actually be able to get one more off in like 8 hours.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Because we're just resting.
You are just resting. And Arturos's bruising and wound will have gone away from simple magical healing.
Just the concussion, then.
Actually, you know what? I have sending.
You have sending? You do, yes?
I have sending. I can send my dirtbag husband.
Are you going to?
Just, hey, you conscious? We're all mostly awake. Just 7 words. He doesn't get all 25. Fuck him.
You feel like you've come across... You know how how it feels to... how to put this? It feels like he's asleep, basically, but also he's kind of waking up.
I swear to God, he's like, what? I just woke up. What? Again, I swear to fucking God.
He says, Jill, oh, good. I'm glad you're up. He seems kind of stuttery. He says, messenger just said you're up. Antonia's on her way. See you soon, hopefully. Maybe I'll, and then it cuts off.
Oh, he's muzzy. Huh. I think she'll do a quick count. Anna, was that 25?
Either I was counting wrong or it was 25. It might have been 20 and I got cut off, but
oh no.
Either way.
Either way, it's above 10, so she's surprised. Guess he rambles when he's tired. Yeah, he's awake too. She'll say to the others.
Wynn nods.
The rest of the evening is pretty boring. You find out eventually that it's growing dark outside. Later on, people bring you food, some soup. It's actually pretty good. Like, this is not your usual shitty hospital fare. This is halfway decent.
I would like to think that while everybody else was passed out, Wynn totally bribed one of the, staff to bring her more magazines, and this is the point where they're supposed to bring them to her. I want gossip rags.
One of the servants, when they brings in a tray with the soup on it, when your tray has a bunch of magazines stacked underneath the soup.
You're my hero, she says to the nurse.
Point of order. Jilliana will ask if it's like an animal broth or a vegetable broth.
The servant, who clearly did not get the same message as Varus, said, Your Highness, this is a fish soup.
Oh, fish. Dope. Thank you.
We were informed that you might like it.
Yeah, religious dietary restrictions. It's, if it's animal stock right now, I'm healing, it's okay, but it'd be great if fish stock. Great, thank you.
The servant bows deeply.
Oh,
and
don't do that.
Walks away. The first few steps are walking backwards away from you.
Oh, Jill like just winces the whole time, like her skin's crawling. Oh, people are gonna do that here.
When nods.
Oh, that's awful.
You're already taller than me. I am not bowing.
Wynn opens up one of the magazines and starts eating her soup while she reads it.
Excellent. The next morning, after you've eaten breakfast, servants come in and kind of help you get all propped up, and one of them might dab away bits of blood that's oozed from a scab, and another might help you get your pillow sorted.
Just get that like robe dressing gown on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Some of the other crew have woken up in this time, and they're just chatting a little bit with you. There is no knock at the door this time. The door simply opens, and you hear Varus say, Her Royal Highness, the Princess Antonia Lucius Regulus Volcarum.
Oh, they have the same middle names.
And a bunch of guards march into the room. They're wearing light armor and carrying short swords, but they aren't heavily armed. And past them, and through them, walks a young woman. She's shorter than almost any other Vidoni you've seen, only about 6 foot tall. She's quite thin, but in a gangly way, like a teenager who hasn't yet won her fight with puberty. She has long blonde hair that's braided up around her head, and bright yellow eyes that hold your attention. You recognize her from the picture Max showed you. She's wearing a long, lightweight stolus over a tunic that flows around her. It's a deep burgundy with gold embroidery around the hems, and she has a broad, plain, golden sash around her waist. She's bareheaded, but her ears and nose and lower lip are all pierced with simple gold studs. And she looks around the room, and to each of you makes eye contact for a moment and smiles. And she says, Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi. Afternoon.
Hello.
Your Highness.
Yes.
Hi.
One of the guards says, That is the correct address. And Antonia holds up her hand, as if to silence the guard. And around the room, she looks to everyone and says, Please, tell me your names. She actually starts with the crew first and looks to the oldest looking person in the room, who is Bondar, who is now sitting up and grumbling over her soup.
Wynn accepts this because Bondar is captain.
Yeah, she holds the highest rank.
And as each person goes round and gives their name, you get the impression that Antonia already knows this and is being polite. As she gets to our shore party here, Wynn, Artie, Jill, do you give each of your names?
I mean, yeah.
Wynn.
He looks at her. You already know my name.
And last of all, she goes to you, Jill. And when you give her name, she says, Jilliana. And she gestures with an open palm to your upper arm, and she says, I see you are wearing a wedding band. It is identical to the one on my brother, the prince's wrist. Are you, in fact, the wife he went to meet with?
And she nods. Yeah. Yes. That, yeah, that's my husband.
She smiles and nods and says, I see. It is a pleasure to meet my long-lost sister. I look forward to becoming better acquainted with you. And she curtsies quite deeply to you.
I feel like that may have been a sarcastic curtsy.
Make an insight check. 1 level exhaustion. I don't think you have disadvantage, but let's find real quick. Oh, it is in fact at disadvantage.
Okay. That's an 11 then at disadvantage.
Well, with an 11, that well and truly makes the DC. No, she's quite sincere.
Huh. Yeah. Same. Mutual. it would be, yeah, good to get to know you. Oh, I'm really fucking this up. Goddess damn it.
It's quite all right, dear sister. Looking around, she says, I believe that I have you all to thank for my brother coming back alive. Is this true?
Yeah.
It has been a difficult time for us, and I speak for my entire kingdom when I offer you my most heartfelt thanks. And again, she curtsies low, this time directed at everyone in the room. Doctor, she says to Varys, are our friends here well enough that I can talk to them for a while? The doctor nods and says, yes, your highness. The princess says, thank you. Please, friends, sister, I must ask a favor of you. Please tell me everything you know about my brother the prince.
Wynn kind of glances to Varys and the guards. Are they leaving the room?
One of the guards is bringing the princess a stool, but otherwise, no. Actually, this stool is almost as tall as a bar stool by humanoid standards, but it fits her height quite perfectly, and she sits on it.
Why are you asking us instead of him?
She smiles and says, well, I am sure you are aware of his reticence sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to simply hear it from someone else's mouth. The people who know him when he's not in the kingdom.
Why don't you start by telling us about him, and we can see where let's compare notes then.
She smiles and nods gently and says, I believe that sounds acceptable.
Jemjammer is performed by Annie Creighton, Anna Emmeline, Rio Rios, and Mackenzie Weaver, and is edited by Jake Mason. Our cover art is by Canary Witch, who can be found at canarywitch.carrd.co, and our character design is by Rio Rios, who can be found at rios.com. Our opening and closing music is by Saad Akhtar Ali. For bonus content, such as Jilliana's private diary, behind-the-scenes homebrew stuff, and other features from our other shows, I Will Fight You and Date Me Damn It, our Patreon has it all from only $1 a month at patreon.com/thejemjam. Thank you so very much for listening. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next time.
Hold on, I need to blow my nose.
Oh my god!
That was a trumpet.
That was a honk!
I turned away from the mic for that.
Amazing.
Apologies. The cleric says,
wow, I was writing clutching a rope, and then I looked down and I had written clutching a trumpet.